Good morning. I'm Rosemary Hagan, and I am a Unitarian. As a matter of fact, I've been a Unitarian since 1985, and I have belonged to 4 Unitarian organizations. I am a member of UCOV, which is this organization and stands for the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Venice. We welcome you. The Unitarian movement is an interesting movement in that we really admit anyone who has a religious idea, and we try to get along with them, and generally we do. It is a long movement. It has been around since in America since the nation began. John Adams, his son John Quincy Adams, Millard Fillmore, and Howard Taft were all Unitarians. My favorite political Unitarian was Adlai Stevenson, who should have become president, except he ran against Dwight Eisenhower, and he lost before he started. We welcome you to a religion which is liberal and is functioning as a liberal religion in the United States of America and has functioned that length of time. And we welcome you. If you want to come and visit one of our Sundays, come to our Zoom. We welcome any religion. This means gays, and it means men and women and everyone. That's what it means. So take it to heart. That is exactly what it means. The music here is going to start our service, and I thank you a great deal.
It's a busy time of year, so I have some announcements. A pledge drive update. So far, a total of 102 families have pledged a total of $247,000 towards next fiscal year's budget of $300,000. Get your pledge card in today, or you can simply email or call our treasurer with a dollar figure. We try to make it as easy as possible for you to participate. This Wednesday, March 10th, from 1 to 3, there is a Zoom meeting for anyone who wants to learn more about the issues that are on the agenda for our upcoming annual meeting. Login information for that March 10th meeting, that Q&A session, can be found on our website or Facebook page. And our annual meeting is set for the following week, Saturday, March 20th, at 10 a.m. We'll be electing new board members, new nominating committee members, deciding which organizations to send our special offerings to next year, and deciding on a budget for the upcoming fiscal year. This meeting also is on Zoom, and login information can be found online and on Facebook. If you can't attend that day, it is imperative that you return the ballot you received by email or snail mail. If you're a member here, this is one of your responsibilities of membership. Your vote is critical to the operation of this congregation, critical to achieving quorum for this important annual meeting so that the business of the congregation can continue to go on. On March 24th at 10 a.m., Green Sanctuary will have what looks like a reorganizational meeting by Zoom, info in the newsletter. Also, you should know that for the past year, the COVID task force has been meeting monthly as they closely followed statistics in Sarasota County and surrounding counties. But because of our rapidly changing and evolving pandemic situation, they're now meeting every other week, anticipating that we'll be making changes very soon. So watch for news from them and from the Board of Trustees. We all hope to be able to open up the campus more widely sooner rather than later. During the pandemic, we've had a number of members and friends who have been unable to return to Florida, and some of our folks who were here regularly have now permanently moved north. Norma Gage is now in South Carolina. Mary Leone moved this week to be closer to her daughter in Minnesota. And a couple more somber notes. We just learned this week of the passing of our charter member, Nancy Dixon, in Fairfax, Minnesota on February 2nd. A memorial for her is being planned in Fairfax by her family for early next summer. Also, Bob Inglis died Friday here in Venice. Bob had fallen and broken his leg a week ago, and things progressed quickly. Dean and her daughter are trying to deal with all the details, and I'm sure they would appreciate cards and letters. Please hold the Dixon family and the Inglis family close in your hearts. Our call to worship is from the Reverend Peter Friedrichs. Enriched by our differences and joined together in our search for meaning, we covenant with ourselves and each other to seek truth in a spirit of love, to strive for justice, and to serve others with a joyful heart. Let us worship together. Our hymn is number 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are. It's adapted from the 13th century Persian poet Rumi.
Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come.
Our children have their own religious education class by Zoom each Sunday at 10 a.m. If you'd like to attend or help your child to attend, login information can be found on our website at uucov.org or on our Facebook page. This week, we have a piece from the American Festival Chorus and Orchestra entitled Sing.
Sing, sing a song, sing it loud, sing it strong. Sing of good things, not bad. Sing of happy, not sad. Sing, sing a song. Make it simple to last your whole life. Don't worry if it's not good enough for anyone else to hear. Sing, sing a song.
Our moment of prayer and meditation begins today with words from the Reverend Teresa I. Soto. The world makes many demands on your time, your skin, your heart, until you're left gasping and wondering if you will ever do enough, have enough, be enough. Stop your counting, measuring, checking. You are enough, so much more than enough, made from fragments of the galaxy. You do measure up. And to recover from the doubt pressed upon you, the antidote for doubt is dreaming. All the dreams that call to you, lime green and frosting pink dreams, The others, soft and tender dreams that run blue to gray, sky undistinguishable from lulling sea. The dreams that seem impossible. Listen, that's their nature. If they had already happened, then they would be realities, solid and smooth, like the round bone home of a broken egg. Be brave enough to name your dream. Nurture it. And allow the rhythm of your breath to bring your dreams to life. We lift up those in this community who face change, challenge, or loss this day as we hold within our hearts all who suffer. And now we pray, each in our own ways, into the silence. The hopes of this community are offered forth in the names of all those who've gone before and in the names of all those who will come after, in the names of all the helpers of humankind. Shalom, salam, amen, and blessed be. Our interlude is a surto, a Greek dance in the Makam Nikris musical scale. The Arab Instruments Trio will play this on the oud, which is a stringed instrument, on the ney, which is the flute-like instrument, and the darbuka, which is the drum. As I was despairing this week of having anything to say, my wife Linda mentioned something she'd read from Anne Lamott. Here is an extended quote. My friend Mark gave a spiritual retreat to 50 or so people on rising up, renewal, and second winds in catastrophic times. One woman who worked with children living with AIDS came all the way from Africa to attend. Mark talked all morning about filling back up, about energy reserves that are released by curiosity and, paradoxically, by service. Then he handed each participant a cheap Mexican blanket and had them lie down for a nap, like in kindergarten. The woman from Africa was furious with him for wasting her time. She had flown nearly 10,000 miles to study with him. He tried to soothe her, but she stalked to the back of the room with her blanket. Everyone stretched out or curled up, closed their eyes, spaced out, and rested. The woman came over after the nap and told Mark, "I slept. I dreamed. I'm beyond exhausted, and I hadn't even known it." Lamott continues, "I think we are exhausted in a brand new way, physically and psychically. We're wiped out by having been such good sports for so long. Even though I've had it easier than 99% of the world, with everything I needed, no job to lose, it has exhausted me, this whole stupid thing. The government's so-called response, the extreme suffering and death all around, the miles-long lines of cars waiting to get a box of food at mobile food pantries. We're tired of being with the very few people we're quarantined with. We're tired of them. We hadn't realized that they talked so much or chewed bacon with such disgusting wet fervor. We're tired of ourselves. God, we can be such whiny babies. We need fresh horses, but because of the stay-at-home orders, any fresh horses have to be an inside job. So where to start, Lamott asks. You always have to start where you are, right where you're sitting, and admit that you're pooped. I wish I could give everyone a cheap blanket to curl up with, but most of you have little children or sick parents, housework, deadlines to take care of. It doesn't really help to remind people that this too shall pass, though it will. And in the meantime, there are things you can do and things you can not do. You can try the radical act of doing less. Cross off one thing you thought you needed to do each day. You'll probably find that the world will keep on spinning if you don't manage to buy that pad of graph paper today or mop. Maybe you will need a new packet of moist towelettes sometime soon, but does it really have to be today? I try to let myself, she says, do a few things way less perfectly than usual. Perfection is the voice of the enemy, of the oppressor. Nothing is more exhausting than the isometric tension of trying to look, perform, and be perfect. So stop it. I say no now a couple of times most days to people who need something from me. Yes, no is a complete sentence. And my grandson's 4th grade class had condiment day every Thursday. Ketchup. You have to catch up on some assignments. Mustard. There were things you absolutely must do, things you couldn't put off any longer. And relish. Do something you love doing, something fun or something silly, any activity that brings you pleasure. Relish, joy, and pleasure are one solution to exhaustion. So is a walk around the neighborhood, noticing those daffodils are blooming, those ever-reliable sight gags with clown frills and huge schnozzes. Paying deeper attention paradoxically relieves exhaustion because it awakens us. It makes us laugh, and laughter is a battery charge. She says, when I see a friend or relative who is just plain worn out, I intuitively know what to offer. Now, a cool drink of water, a chair in which they can do the sacrament of ploppage, a bracing cup of coffee or tea, chocolate or a mandarin orange, a mandatory timeout. I try to help them keep the patient comfortable. And it reminds me to do this with my own baby self all day. Lamont concludes, my diocesan priest friend, Terry Ritchie, says the thing is not to try harder, but to resist less. Remembering this, and a glass of ice-cold water, a mandarin orange, some service to the poor, nature, and some relish, just might help lift us today and give us a second wind. We're in this together. Both the end of the shutdown and spring are in sight, and we can do it. End quote. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. I really wanted to bring you an upbeat, fun, hopeful message today, one that follows on that great song lyric by the poet Rumi, that this road we're traveling together is indeed no caravan of despair. I wanted to, but sometimes. We had a lovely celebration of life for Marilyn Povenmire yesterday on Zoom. These flowers were here for that service in memory of Marilyn, with love from Dale. If you weren't able to participate yesterday, I do hope you can see the recording of it on our YouTube channel soon. And we're planning another celebration of life for Marty King that should happen in the very near future. Don't know when yet. And as I announced a few moments ago, Nancy Dixon died in Minnesota in early February. Bob Inglis died Friday. And yeah, I know, everybody dies. Everybody. But still, I'm tired. I'm tired of the pandemic. I'm tired of losing dear, dear people. Tired of all the wrangling and all the constant adjustments we're asked to make. I'm just tired of being tired. Last Thursday, I was witness to a kind of a street party over on the island. It was as if a whole neighborhood full of people had come out of their houses onto the street to greet each other and sing along with a band and party and hang out. It was just beautiful, really. Except, maybe this is just a measure of my own exhaustion with the whole pandemic mess. It was great to see such exuberance. Except, there wasn't one person among those 30 or 40 who chose to wear a mask or to keep a proper distance. I want to get together with people. I do. But I also want you to be safe when we do that. So I was feeling some measure of despair when Linda brought me this piece from Anne Lamott, in which she sort of nailed how it is I'm feeling, I think. Exhausted in a brand new way, physically and psychically, and I might even add spiritually. We are wiped out by having been such good sports for so long. Man, a cheap blanket to curl up on sounds really good about now. And as Ms. Lamont points out, there are ways I've done this to myself. Trying too hard to get things exactly right, for instance. Perfection is the voice of the enemy, of the oppressor, Lamont says. Nothing is more exhausting than the isometric tension of trying to look, perform, and be perfect. Tell me about it. Linda said this reading reminded her of that old Bob Fulghum piece, Everything I Needed to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. I remember it, but I needed to see it again. So here it is. All I really need to know about how to live and what to do and how to be, I learned in kindergarten. Wisdom was not at the top of the graduate school mountain, but there in the sand pile at Sunday school. These are the things I learned. Share everything, play fair, don't hit people. Put things back where you found them. Clean up your own mess. Don't take things that aren't yours. Say you're sorry when you hurt somebody. Wash your hands before you eat. Flush. Warm cookies and cold milk are good for you. Live a balanced life. Learn some and think some and draw and paint and sing and dance and play and work every day some. Take a nap every afternoon. And when you go out into the world, watch out for traffic. Hold hands. Stick together. Be aware of wonder. Remember the little seed in the styrofoam cup. The roots go down and the plant goes up, and nobody really knows how or why, but we're all like that. Goldfish and hamsters and white mice and even the little seed in the styrofoam cup, they all die. So do we. And then remember the Dick and Jane books and the first word you learned, that biggest word of all, look. Everything you need to know is in there somewhere. The golden rule and love and basic sanitation, ecology and politics and equality, and sane living. Take any of those items and extrapolate it into sophisticated adult terms and apply it to your family life or your work or your government or your world, and it holds true and clear and firm. Think what a better world it would be if the whole world had cookies and milk about 3 o'clock every afternoon and then lay down with our blankies for a nap. Or if all governments had a basic policy to always put things back where they found them and to clean up their own messes. And it is still true, no matter how old you are, when you go out into the world, it is best to hold hands and stick together. So I needed those words, and I needed to remember to look for the good things that I can see all around me. I see that lots of people are getting their vaccines, and I can't tell you how wonderful that feels. I saw more than 50 people on the Zoom memorial we had for Marilyn Povenmire yesterday, and it is truly, truly a blessing to be able to use technology to help people connect in that way. I have a place to take a nap when I need one, and warm cookies and cold milk sometimes. And Robert Fulgham's little seed in the styrofoam cup, back when our avocado tree died, we planted a seed from one of the last fruit it bore. That seed has now sent up a strong shoot that has sprouted a great, healthy-looking bunch of large leaves. And we left the trunk of that dead tree standing in our front yard to see what would happen. A couple of red-bellied woodpeckers have moved in and are raising a new family there. And, miracle of miracles, the base of that tree that we thought was dead is now sending out new little shoots all around, covered with leaves that are opening up to absorb the sunlight and make more avocados. We can always find reasons to despair. God knows we've had plenty these past few months. But the good things are always right there, too, though some days they can be harder to see. Let's keep looking. Let's keep hoping. We're in this together. As Annie Lamott said, both the end of the shutdown and spring are right there in sight, and we can do it. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Ours is no caravan of despair. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. So may it be.
We laugh, we cry, we live, we die, we dance, we sing our song. We need to feel there's something here to which we can belong. We need to feel the freedom just to have some time alone. But most of all, we need close friends we can call our very own. And we believe in life and in the strength of love. And we have found a need to be together. We have our hearts to give. We have our thoughts to receive. And we believe that sharing is an answer.
Our benediction is from the Reverend Martha Kirby Capo. Our time together is finished, but our work is not done. May our spirits be renewed and our resolve strengthened as we meet the challenges of the week to come. Go in peace, walk softly on your paths, and may the light of love shine on you all your days.
Thank you.